This is Charlie Kennedy doing the second of my Blueprint LSAT prep videos. And in this one, I'm going to try to teach one of the two questions that I was sent to look at by the Blueprint people. Of the two I was given, I'm going to concentrate on number one, which has to do with Jennifer and the vacation policies of KVC Corporation. Now, ordinarily when I teach, I stand up, I move around, and in the case where I'm teaching from a text, I would generally have it maybe up on a PowerPoint, although as a matter of principle I don't like those very much, or in some form, on a whiteboard, someplace where I can point to it, where I can gesture, and where I can move around. It's a lazy summer day in Washington, and I'm not that good at videography, so I'm going to sit in one place and do it this time, but that's not my usual thing. Your students, I am the test prep teacher, and this is a logic question. We have a logic question about Jennifer. Jennifer has worked at KVC Manufacturing for just over 3 years. Now, what we have about Jennifer is basically two sentences, crammed with facts that are relevant to the options that you're given, the 5 options that you're given, of which one option is a correct answer. Jennifer has worked at KVC Manufacturing, that's her company, for just over 3 years. She plans to spend with her family the entire 4 weeks of paid vacation to which she is entitled this year. Anyone who has worked at KVC Manufacturing for between 1 and 4 years is automatically entitled to exactly 3 weeks paid vacation each year, but can apply up to half of any vacation time that remains unused at the end of 1 year to the next year's vacation. Those are your facts. That's the evidence in your case. Now the question, and the question is phrased in a very important way. If the statements above are all true, in those two sentences, which one of the following must also be true on the basis of them? Now, I call this a must-be-true question, and you might call it, or you might see it when you have a question that says something like, "What do these facts prove?" Or "What must be the case?" or "What is the case?" Based on these statements. You need to find the one option here. There's only going to be one among these 5 that must be true, and you have to weed out the ones that can't be true or only could be true. Now, a can't be true question, and we don't happen to have, or a can't be true answer, we don't happen to have one here, so I'll tell you that much right now. A can't be true question could be very simple. For example, based on the facts you're given, if you had an option that said everyone at KVC is entitled to exactly 4 weeks paid vacation, that can't be true based on what we've been told in the two sentences, because we've been told that everybody's automatically entitled to 3. That's a can't be true. What we usually find here, and what we have to eliminate in a question like this, are could be trues. These are statements that might be the case or might not be the case, might be true, might be false, but we don't know based on the information we're given. When you're a lawyer, you'll learn a phrase called objection assumes facts not in evidence. Assumes facts not in evidence. So you probably will have some options here that might be true, might not be true, but if they are true or false, you can only know on the basis of evidence you don't have. Long-winded way of explaining how you analyze your options when you get a question like this, a must-be-true question. Let's look at a couple of options that are sort of obvious of the could-be-true variety, of the assumes facts not in evidence variety. We get rid of a couple of these, what I call distractors, we can narrow our search for the right answer. Look at E, option E. That one says KVZ, manufacturing, sometimes allows extra vacation time to employees who need to spend more time with their families. Now, they do kind of kind of a tacky thing here to distract you. They use the word families, which actually is a word that is in the fact pattern above, because we've already been told that Jennifer plans to spend her vacation with her family. But you don't have any information about what KVZ's policy is. Does KVZ allow extra vacation time to employees when they want to spend time with their families as opposed to vacation taken for other reasons? Who knows? Could be true, but it's only a could be true. There's nothing in the fact pattern that tells you. C is another what I call obvious distractor of the could be true variety. C says the majority of KVZ's employees use each year all of the paid vacation time to which they are entitled. Might be true, might not be true, but there's nothing in the question about what the majority of KVZ's employees do. All you know here is what Jennifer plans to do and what the policies are that the company applies, none of which has anything to do with what people really do. That gets us down to 3 that are really worth looking at. And one of them is a distractor when you read it carefully. We're down to A, B, and D. A, B, and D. Let's look at B now. This is another one that we will want to eliminate, and I'll tell you why. B says, if Jennifer continues to work for KVZ Manufacturing, she will only be entitled to 3 weeks paid vacation next year. Now that is a could be true, but it's based on something Jennifer hasn't done yet. And that's the fact that's not in evidence. Remember, the first sentence of our fact pattern says that Jennifer plans to spend with her family the entire 4 weeks of paid vacation to which she is entitled. Now, if and when she does that, she will be entitled to 3 weeks paid vacation next year because she will have used all the paid vacation to which she is entitled this year, and that's how the rule works. You get 3 if you've used up all your vacation entitlement in the previous year. But she hasn't done it yet. She plans. Every word counts, or almost every word counts in these fact patterns. They generally are not carelessly drafted. So let's eliminate B as another distractor. Could be true. But in this case, it's not just a matter of facts that aren't in the fact pattern, but of facts that will occur, if at all, in the future. The distractor. And what does that leave us with? It leaves us with A and D. And when you get down to 2, and you have to eliminate 1, and you've gotten rid of the obvious distractors, the way I can tell I'm getting warm, my head starts to hurt, because I know these are going to be tougher. The obvious distractors are gone, and we're down to the ones that are going to take a little thinking, a little more thinking. And when your head hurts like that, that's good pain. It means you're getting warm. You're getting down to the choice that's going to get you the right answer. It's going to get you the right answer on this question. I want to go to option D first. What does option D say? Last year, Jennifer took only 1 week of the paid vacation time to which she was entitled. She took only 1 week. Now, on its face, that might sound plausible. Because what do we know from the fact pattern? We know that Jennifer's going to take 4 weeks. We also know that she only automatically gets 3. And we know that in order to get more vacation time, that extra week that she's going to take this year, she needs to have carried over half of what she was entitled to last year. And only in order to get 1 week carried over, she needs to have not taken 2. Not taken 2. But must it be true? Is it a must be true that she took only 1 week of the paid vacation time to which she was entitled? That must be true, based on what we're told, if she was only entitled to 3 weeks last year. But we know that vacation can be carried over from 1 year to the next. So if Jennifer carried over some vacation from the year before last and took it last year, this statement would not be true. It wouldn't be true that she took only 1 week. She could have taken more and still had 2 weeks left to carry over. A is our answer, but let's see why. Jennifer did not use 2 weeks of the paid vacation time to which she was entitled last year. Let's remember, our problem is to figure out how Jennifer came to have 4 weeks vacation time to take this year. And based on the fact pattern, what we know about the rules of this company, she could carry over half of any vacation she didn't take last year. We know she had to carry over a week in order to get 4. So we know that there were 2 weeks unused last year. Half of that being 1 carried over. Her 3-week automatic entitlement is increased by 1 week to give her 4 weeks paid vacation. This is a statement that not only could be true, that she did not use 2 weeks of what she was entitled to last year, but it must be true. It must be true. That's why that's the right answer. So remember these logic questions. They're all going to have something like the question here, which is, what does this prove? What does this establish? What must be true based upon these facts? You're going to get rid of can't be trues and could be trues, and then you're going to get the right answer. By the way, in the real world, if you have a question like this, you want to know something about accrued vacation based on the rules of the place where you work, talk to somebody who's career military. I was in the service myself for just 5 years, but career military people I found were masters of these really arcane rules about how much leave, as it was called, you could carry over from year to year, how much you would lose and at what point by not taking it, and more importantly, how much money you could get on your retirement date for leave that, is what they used to say, you could sell. And you could talk to somebody who couldn't find his hometown on a map, but he turned into Isaac Newton when you asked that question. You could say, if you retired today, to the penny, how much money would you get for leave that you didn't take over your 20, 30 years? And they could tell you just like that. So if you have a question like this and it's not on the LSAT, then you can ask anybody, ask a career military person. Now, on to our next sample question.